Watching that video, and I apologize, I'm a little emotional. This has been my life. It's been your lives. And how cool has it been?
Yeah.
My dad's photo appeared in that video. He said 4 words, and it's very appropriate, and I'm honored to repeat them. We ride with you. And it's also very important to say thanks. You guys, each of you, and actually every Hog member around the globe, a huge thank you on behalf of the motor company for your dedication, your focus, and your drive to ride more and have more fun. Thank you so very much. There's some other groups of people I'd like to thank as well. Certainly our dealers that are here, fantastic. We are thrilled to have you. This is a great synergy between Hog members and dealerships. And again, on behalf of the motor company, we cannot thank you enough for your day in and day out support and the hard work that you do to keep this business at the highest pedestal possible. We have the best dealer network in the world, bar none. Thank you so much, Harley-Davidson dealers. And then there's another group of people that work extremely hard for months on end behind the scenes, and some of them in front of the scenes. And that is the Hog staff, the Harley-Davidson employees, and all the instructors that led these courses over the last day and a half. How about a round of applause? Awesome job, awesome job. So I'm going to reflect on that video because it is pretty emotional. My name is Davidson. My dad, Willie, my sister, Karen, my mom, Nancy, my brother, Michael, my grandfather, William H., president of the company from 1942 to 1972, and my great-grandfather, William A., along with his 2 brothers, Arthur and Walter, and their good friend, Bill Harley. It's sometimes really hard for me to personally absorb that. Harley-Davidson is much more than a motorcycle company, as you guys all know. This is something so powerful, so fun, and we have so many new destinations to ride to and experience. It's pretty cool. I started to ride when I was 5. It was a Harley-Davidson M50, 1963. And what was really cool, it wasn't stock. Willie had customized it. And my brother, sister, and I learned how to ride. My dad and my mom taught us how to ride. We were at a little state park just a little bit west of Milwaukee called Wyalusing State Park. And we took that little M50 we had a motorhome at the time, and the family and our family dog, Peppy, went to the state park, and Willie said, okay, you guys are gonna learn how to ride. And we did. And the neat thing is, we have some film footage of that that we have in our archives at the museum that we've played at dealer shows and various functions. And it's just awesome footage to see. So I started to ride when I was 5. Yesterday, I celebrated my 33rd year with the motor company. And thank you. And along this journey, it's been a dream come true every single day. The customers I've met, like you folks, the dealerships I've been to around the world, the rides I've had, some celebrities I've met along the way, it's absolutely incredible. And a lot of people will come up to me and say, what is that like? And sometimes it's hard to answer, but to be honest, it's actually, for the most part, quite simple. Because we are in a club of the best people in the world. People that are caring, people that are giving, people that are dedicated, people that are passionate, people that love Harley Davidson. And so when the family goes to events, last week, Willie and I and my mom and my sister were in Daytona, and we sat at the autograph table 3 days in a row for a couple hours. And I'll tell you, it is absolutely amazing what we hear. Things like, thanks for changing my life. Thanks for introducing me to Harley Davidson. I met my spouse because of it. It's hard to fathom some of that stuff, the power of our company, our products, and what it all represents. And it's all wonderful. It's truly wonderful. It's awesome. So yeah, it's been a dream come true every day, and running the museum now and being playing an instrumental role on our marketing and sales team, I couldn't be happier. The thrill continues. So this video, it talks about 1903. And we rolled 3 bikes out of the shed that my great-great-grandfather made for his 3 sons, William, Arthur, and Walter. And they placed it in their backyard. In 1903, they started producing what they felt was the best possible product from all their research, all their due diligence, all their hard work as to what they felt would make a good motorcycle back in 1903. And remember, in 1903, there was a huge transportation transformation taking place. Henry Ford, Model 8, Wright brothers flew the first airplane. Things were changing. Horse and buggy, steam to gasoline. And Bill Harley did something really instrumental. Most companies were taking little engines and putting them in bicycle frames. The earliest drawing we have at the museum is from 1901, signed by Bill Harley, and it's a blueprint of a little motor for a bicycle frame. They never did it. They tested it and said, this is not good enough. We need to ensure that our chassis looks great, works great, is engineered well, is dependable, reliable, and we can get the more horsepower out of that engine to the ground. So they scrapped that little motor. Bill Harley went forward with his own design on the engine and the chassis combination, and that's what they built 3 of between 1903 and 1904. The video mentions a legend began. And legends are made up of history. Our legend's pretty powerful. 114 continuous years of building the best motorcycles in the world. Nobody comes close to that statement. And we're really proud of that. But the other neat thing about history and a powerful legend is we all get to participate. Because we are it now. We are writing the current chapter of history today and tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. We will be part of this legendary story that goes back to 1903. And what a phenomenal honor, privilege that is for all of us. It's really cool when you think about it. There aren't too many other products that can do that can pull people from all walks of life, from all corners of the world together to have fun, to ride, to share in this camaraderie. It's awesome. Thank you for that. So another quick little story. I'm full of stories. 1904, founders ran out of money. And it didn't look like they were going to be able to continue. There was an uncle that lived in Madison, Wisconsin that had a bee farm. He produced honey. Walter wrote him a note. By the way, you didn't hear about this in the Discovery show. Walter wrote him a note and said, "We desperately need your help. We're out of money." The uncle wrote a $170 loan. Willie had that document, and he's given it to the museum. It's now in the same room with the 1903 motorcycle. And because of that note, that loan for $170, they were able to continue. When you think about legendary, as I said, it's made up of history. And that history is made up of stories. These little stories are amazing. And the fact that we've been able to capture that history and turn it into something very powerful that is all near and dear to our hearts, Harley Davidson, is fantastic. By 1920, we were the largest motorcycle company in the world. In 17 years, we were selling motorcycles, and this is unbelievable, in 68 different countries around the world. From 1903, the 10 by 15 wooden shed, to being the world's biggest and selling in 68 different countries. It's amazing. It's amazing. So the history is powerful, it's exciting, and it's, like I said, it's part of something we are all participating in. And Harley Davidson has some great plans. The company is strong. And I think you're all aware that we've made some announcements. We've already introduced 2, the Road King Special and the new Street Rod. But we're gonna introduce an additional 48 new motorcycles over the next 5 years. You can fund.
That's crazy. That's a lot of models.
So we are very excited. We're energized. And we can't wait to share these products with you guys and continue to ensure that we put smiles on your faces. It's awesome. The Harley Owners Group. Something near and dear to my heart. I was the 3rd manager of Hog. I took Hog from 30,000 members to over 300,000. I was at the reins for about 3 years. And I have to be very honest with you. It was one of the best positions I ever had at the motor company. I was able to travel to dealerships around the world. I was able to meet customers, understand what they liked, what they disliked, and I was able to make a difference. And one of the biggest differences I made was I was asked by our leadership team at the time to expand Hog into Europe. So I packed up my bags and I went over to Europe for about 4 months and studied the landscape over there. What was gonna work? Could we implement the same thing we had in the US and Canada? Did we have to tweak things? Where would our headquarters in Europe be? Did we need a headquarters in Europe? Could we just run it out of Milwaukee? It was really fun. And it worked. We introduced it, and Hog in Europe is very, very strong, I'm proud to say, and it just keeps growing. When you think of the Harley Owners Group, just shy of 1 million members worldwide, there are many companies around the world that would do anything to figure that out. Anything. We've had many of them come to us. One of them is Jeep. Jeep wanted to figure out how do you engage with your customers? How do you create experiences that are fun? How do you keep them so ramped up, happy? They didn't get it. So we didn't tell them all the secret sauce either. But that's very rewarding, right? When you have something that powerful that other major companies want a part of. You know, Honda, they've tried several times. The Goldwing Riders Club, they had a Honda Owners Group for a while. They failed. They're gone. They don't have them. It's a whole different entity for them. They don't understand the DNA. They don't have 114 years of heritage. They don't have a legendary story. They don't have customers like you folks. One last story. I was on a hog ride in Santiago, Chile, and it was a toy run. And it wasn't a big group. We had maybe 35, 40 motorcycles. And all I really knew is that we were gonna take this toy ride. So I get on my bike and had my toys on my handlebars and on the top of the saddlebags, and we take off. And the riding in Chile was nuts because they don't have any rules or regulations. It was quite scary. And we rode on the pavement for maybe an hour or so. And then that pavement ended and we were on a dirt road for another hour. And this was a destination we were going to deliver these toys. They didn't tell me what the destination was because I think they wanted it to be somewhat of a surprise for me. So we start slowing down, and I will never forget this visual. And I see a cinder block wall, about 10 feet tall. And on the top edge of that cinder block wall, I could see fingertips hanging over the edge. And we got to the front gate, and I said, "Where are we?" They said, "We're at an orphanage. And these kids can't wait to come out and see you guys sit on your bikes, wear your helmets, put on your leather jackets, and receive their toys." And that was such an unbelievable experience. I remember when they opened that gate, and we rode in there, and I didn't speak really good Spanish. I could get by with a few words, but I didn't know hot engine or hot pipes, be careful, because these kids were climbing all over the bikes, and I felt bad that I couldn't stay away. But we pulled in there, and you kind of felt like the proud piper, you know, it's just amazing. And these poor kids, I wanted to take every one of them and bring them home with me, because that's all they knew was inside that cinder block wall. And I was so delighted to go down there with 35, 40 HOG members and share some good, some fun, some enthusiasm, some excitement in those kids' lives. And just an incredible experience, one that was real personal for me that I wanted to share with you. Did you guys have fun these last couple of days?
Yeah!
Awesome. So what is it? No boundaries?
Let's go!
Awesome. So, HOG is an awesome entity. HOG has helped Harley Davidson in huge ways. When my dad and the 12 other executives bought the company back from EMF in 1981, we had our hands full. In 1983, we said, you know what? There's something special here between our dealers, the motor company, and our customers. What is that formula? What can we do with it? 1983, HOG was launched. And I will assure you, it was instrumental in helping turn Harley Davidson around. Huge. And it's been growing ever since. Like I said, I had the opportunity to run HOG. That was a real honor for me and a real privilege, and I'm glad it was able to grow under my leadership. It was a real privilege. But HOG today, we've got to remember a couple of things. It takes some effort, right? We're changing it up a little bit. We're getting back to fun, back to riding. That's what this is all about. That's what was in that video. Riding, having fun. That's what Harley Davidson is. We always have to remember, it's really important to challenge what is, to see what could be. Because if you never challenge what is, you'll never know what could be. So it's really important. If there's issues, get them on the table. Let's work together. The opportunity to grow HOG, to bring new enthusiasts in, to ride our Harley Davidsons anywhere in the world with smiles on our faces is right there for us to enjoy. It's fantastic. So, think about, for a second, and really think about this. If HOG was completely done away with, there is no HOG. Wow, I have trouble thinking about that. But think about that. Think of what we would lose. The friendships, the camaraderie, the connections with our dealers, the experiences, the adrenaline. It would alter. The world would be a different place. And it's really interesting to think about that, because it puts in perspective in a little bit stronger way what a good thing we have and how exciting it is to be a part of it. I can tell you the motor company is behind HOG 110%. We talk about it all the time. We take your input very seriously. And we are excited about the future. We're excited about riding with you. We're excited about introducing new products and having a good time together, following our front wheels wherever they may lead us. So with that, I just want to end by saying thank you for being part of the world's best riding club, and thank you for riding the best motorcycles in the world Harley Davidson. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be careful traveling home. And thank you for attending